Amanda.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Solo Leveling Season 1, Episode 6. Mr. Dong Suk has trapped us in here with Jinho.
Yep.
With a spider.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to survive?
Yeah, totally.
There was one thing I wanted to bring up that I forgot to in the episode, the discussion last episode. 7 S ranks in this country alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot. I kind of expected there to be maybe 100 or 50. 7 S ranks, high standards.
Right. I feel like it does make sense that there would be, like, only a few, but also that sounds a little bit dangerous, because it seems like we haven't really gotten a hold on stopping the gates from even happening to begin with. The idea that there might be too many to even be able to handle in a timely manner. And if we only have 7 people that can tackle a certain type of gate because of their rank, we're really not doing so well if there were multiple gates that needed S rank, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just, like, brings up the question, if there is an influx of gates going forward in the future, how do you deal with them all, especially if they are higher ranks? But we have Jinwoo, so we don't have to worry about it.
And we have Miss Cha being an instructor that will
Yeah.
hopefully then help people handling things.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sweet.
Look at their smug faces.
Honestly. Oh, no! Just you wait.
So we're hoping that it's like easy no fight because of the mana crystals.
Ugh. And you can wear it out. What rank would you rate it?
And I'm gonna get comfy in my seat to watch them survive.
ジンホの言う通りだ。再覚醒だとしてもレベルが上がっていても俺はまだ弱い。インスタンスダンジョンで遭遇した青毒画のカサカ。おそらく D 級。ゴーレムタイプのボスも D 級かそれ以下。
Hardest challenge yet.
間違いなくあいつらとは比べようがないほど強い。なのになぜだろう。
Well, we have a dagger this time that's C rank.
Okay. We had goosebumps before going to the Kasaka.
Oh. God, I love his jacket flowing in the wind.
I love the contrast of his sister having so much fun swinging on a playground and him in his room, head in his hands.
You think at any point in this series we'll ever be able to fight against what initially almost killed us? We're ever going to re-find those doors?
I feel like yes. What a great way to, like, actually be able to show ourselves how much we've grown and changed.
もともと腹芸は得意ではないのだがな。
この後は何もご予定がないと伺っております。よろしければ一戦ご指導お願いできませんでしょうか。少しでも気分転換になればと。
老兵は去るのみというが、若者に指導を請われれば断るわけにもいかない。
Aww. All right.
Can control
What?
it to register lower.
False rankers. What's your bet? What are you getting?
Oh.
Aww.
Oh, what? Like
We still have the venom.
Like corroded.
Ooh, dash. Holy shit.
What? Oh no. Oh no.
Debuff. Oh, points in agility paying off. Fatigue hit.
Right, didn't we see we had it when we ran there?
Do you think we saved one from completing all of our daily
Yeah.
quests? Oh! Paralysis, paralysis. Nice.
デイリークエストの報酬もらうのは後回し。
Yeah,
Wow.
What would have happened if you didn't?
信じられない。これいくらになるの？兄貴。
And he's carrying the bags.
お預かりいたしましょうか。お荷物は僕がお運びします。水ですが。
No.
Oh, come on. You don't have to be scared.
兄貴はお休みください。僕が掘って差し上げますね。こいつ急にどうしたんだ？
Respect and fear. Kill them.
They're gonna try to kill you.
指導ありがとうございました。
こちらこそいい気分転換になった。ありがと
Aw.
う。
さすが会長。
Oh my
い
god.
ささかの衰えも見られません。
いやー、さすがに現役の頃、ジンチョル君こそ受け流し方が上手くなった。
ありませんが、肉体を鍛え、技を磨くことはできますので。
ハンターの力におごることなくはとても大事だ。
ボス死んでね。この雲でかいだけかよ。しょぼすぎ。C 級ボスも倒せるかもな。
それにしたって D 級に負けるって弱すぎじゃねえ？いい装備つけてっから検索してみたらすげえじゃねえか。ユミョンハン。お
Oh.
前の親父さんだろ。
Like, we'll be able to get more money now that we know who Trust Fund Kitty is.
孫ジヌを殺せ。ローラ数合わせを殺して報酬を独占するのが俺たちの人法。お前にはその共犯に。
Jesus Christ. Jinho would never.
そんな。
球を一人で倒す装備だから。
They think it was him,
Yeah.
yeah.
があったら面倒だ。二人とも死ぬだけだ。何をためらってるんだ？どうせここで起きたことは外に漏れ。球のくせにいい球が怖いのか。お前、
Oh.
そいつの肩を持とうって
I
んだ。
love him.
It's his boss.
どうします？
He also knows he wouldn't be able to beat him.
お前ら、人を殺したことがあるか。
Kill the human.
Can we just knock him out? Can we be better?
Urgent quest.
Defeat the
Oh
enemies.
shit.
よそ見してんじゃねえよ。兄貴。
We're meeting so many characters.
Wait, Tiger Guild.
特に何も私たちが全員で苦戦していた永久モンスターをで倒してしまったもう余裕シャクシャクって感じハンタースギルドに白虎ギルド
Yeah, the big
大手
leagues.
ギルドに入れてさそうですね世の中にはさ悪い噂の
Yeah.
I was about to say, is that what we're showing
悪い
here?
若い攻撃隊とかさ
Suspiciously high.
そいつは死んだ。
どうして忘れていた弱肉強食の世界。そして暴力と欺瞞と裏切りに。どうして
Oh, can you kill a human?
麻痺していたんだ。錯覚。敵ゼムが俺に殺人を強要する。
It's demanding you
死ねば
do.
困るということか。
To ensure his safety.
偶然でも善意でもないシステムが必要としているんだ。
Oh.
強い俺を。
兄貴、よかった。
なるほどね。
Jinwoo.
システムは俺を利用し、
Then I'll use it
システム
too.
を利用する。
Love not being able to see his eyes there. There's a little sweat droplet on him.
ここはそういう場所だ。
わかってんじゃねえか。人類最弱。
お前らだってそれなりの覚悟。
Holy shit.
はあ。
お前たちもハンターなら駆られる覚悟ができてるはずだよなって聞いてんだ。
俺がやります。なあ兄さん、状況把握ができてないよ。生きった EQ ごときに何ができるってんだ。人類最弱兵器さ。
Oh! I thought he just slit his throat, not fucking
Number of
decapitated him.
enemies.
ジョンっていつの間に武器をどこに隠し持ってたんだよ。
油断をしたとしても順手は D 級。級なんかがなんで。
You have no idea, bitch.
人を殺してしまった。人をシステムの命令に従っただけとはいえ、俺は今人を殺っても殺さなければ俺が死ぬ。もう引き下
A
げる。
justification no one else can see.
Whoa!
生き残るのであればくたばれ。なんて動きしてんだよ。
The poison.
Oh shit! What is this song? He leveled up.
一瞬にしてうちの実力を隠してたのか。ボスもお前が倒したんだな。俺はあいつらと一味違うぞ。
Reinforcement. Another power.
バケモンみてえな野郎だが、のハンターを相手にしたんだから余力はないはずだ。
That's he already used his full recovery.
剣の特殊能力。
ファンさん、あんたは強い。だけど一つ残念なこと。絶えずレベルが。
何が起こったんだ。俺を地面に叩きつけた。第二 EQ なんかじゃない。おい待て、殺すな。
He has to.
彼なら払う。ここにあるマナ鉱石も魔法石も全部くれてやるよ。なら金も倍払うから。
三度も殺そうとした。
Oh.
助けをこうな。
やめろ。
ダンジョンで起きたことは外部に漏れないって。
てめえ、俺の弟が。
My brother. Oh!
No, but his brother's like the chairman or something.
C 級ハンター全員が戦死し、D 級と E 級ハンターが1つずつってことですか？
Yes, ma'am.
そうなんですけど。
あなた、
はい。
マヤ社の長剣カリオンですね。
The one that just came out.
ええ、まあ。
報酬がもらえるとはな。
Murderous intent.
Ugh.
すべての能力値を
State of panic.
なる
Wow.
ほど。こ
この装備なら納得です。こっちの人が一人で倒して、
Yep.
こっちの E 級の人はどこかに隠れてる。
Exactly.
これで終了。
I wonder what the situation would have been if we didn't have Jinho's prestige, you know?
Yeah.
兄貴もお疲れ様でした。
Good thing you gave your sister an
どうか
umbrella.
したんですか？いや、傘は
Aww.
出せてよかったなって。
His brother? Okay, that was Solo Leveling, Season 1, Episode 6. Best episode?
Definitely an interesting episode. Definitely some big things to talk about in this episode.
Just right off the bat, I hope that Jinho stays with us.
You just want him to be a reoccurring character? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would just love to see him every now and then. I imagine that we're going to be continuing to level up, as you will, but I love Jinho, and I would love to just see him every once in a while, especially because I think that now that somebody sees us and sees what we did, had a potential false interpretation of who we were, why we were doing what we were. I want to talk about that, like the false rankers at some point in the discussion. But Jinwoo has killed people, and I that can do some things to an individual, especially in the circumstances that are explicitly unique to Jinwoo here. We're being given it as an objective, as a mission to defeat these people. And yeah, they were going to try to kill us. That was their entire plan here. But killing in self-defense versus killing in self-defense with this added layer of do this or you're going to die is very interesting, and I wonder how that will affect Jinwoo.
It's not even like do this or you'll die, but also if you do it, you'll be rewarded.
Yeah.
There's like multiple layers on top of it. It's making it kind of even harder to, I guess, refuse, and even maybe more morally fucked up for you to say yes, because yeah, you would have died, but also you're gonna get rewarded for killing these people. I wanna latch on a little bit to what you said about Jinho, in terms of like wanting him to possibly come into the story a little more often, especially after what he witnesses here. That line of thinking is someone has seen us kill people, someone was a part of what transpired in actuality within the dungeon that we lied about once we got out of it. To have a character that's kind of seen what we are capable of, but also seen what we are capable of, you want to keep someone like that close to you, not only for the fact of he wanted to keep secret, you know, his powers possibly reawakening, him getting stronger, but also you want to keep secret that you've killed people.
Yeah, I mean, one could do that just out of fear, right? In terms of
boss.
yeah,
Like...
but I don't know. I hope that he stays around as a reoccurring character, like I said. But to bring up an actual screenshot of one of the quests that we were given, urgent quest: defeat the enemy's goal. There are people present who want to kill the player. Defeat them all and ensure your safety. Warning: if you do not complete this quest, you will receive an appropriate
penalty.
And then after that, we're given a flash of what that penalty explicitly is. Warning: if you do not complete this quest, your heart will stop. Yep, and just hones in on it, wanting to kill the player, defeat them all. The system is telling me to kill. Does it need... Yeah.
This is a line that I feel like is really important to bring up. He says possibly here or a little bit later within this, the system wants me alive, it wants me strong.
Yeah, does it need to keep me alive for some reason? Which is really interesting. Like, if we're trying to break down the world, yeah, and the idea of these gates, and we talked about, like, oh, what if there's like an otherworldly god or game master here that is trying to give humanity its own chance that's different from these gates, like, you know, a slightly different variable. Is that what's happening here?
I mean, that would be a really grand, very that would be really great for the world if that was the goal of whoever is like the game master, whoever is the one that created this system, this situation. Oh, well, I'm just trying to prepare humanity so we have a fighting chance. But it's like, I have to put it out there that it could totally be some other much more self-centered, selfish reason of whoever created this system.
Yeah, it's a very convincing way to manipulate somebody. If you offer them legitimate like progression and benefits to their own personal life and benefits to being able to help their own family. Yeah.
He's a slave to it. He is now contractually obligated to do whatever the system wants. It's like he's in the mob. I don't know. Like he owes money to someone. You know what I mean? Like
I love
the minute he chose to have his life be saved in that instance and accept being a player, you can never get rid of it.
Yeah.
Your whole life is going to be, what if these missions pop up in the real world and it's like you have to do this?
Yeah. If one of the lines that I wanted to point out too, if the system wants to use me, then I'll use it too. Like how you're suggesting that he's like in debt by acceptance. Regardless of his outlook here, I would love to live in the world and hope that it happens that he's able to use it back and it be an equivalent exchange. But if you are bound by something that has means that you've signed into without being able to read the terms of service, then there's potential limitations that you're going to have to face.
The equivalent exchange only exists as long as Jinwoo still has need for money and power. At the moment, he has need for money and power because of having to afford rent and take care of his sister and take care of his mother. If the need for money and power and strength no longer exists for Jinwoo in the story, then he doesn't have that same need to use the system back to make it worth it.
But he has to use the system
But now
back.
he has to. Yeah.
Like, even if he didn't have a need for that, he would still be required to do objectives or he would have to pay penalties.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, right now he's in a place where he can see, like, okay, well, I'll do what you want because you're going to lift me up higher to the heights I want to get to. But once it gets to a place where he possibly doesn't need it anymore or doesn't want it anymore, how you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
Except maybe your heart stopping.
When Jinwoo comes out and we get the view of his back with the sun coming out of the clouds and it's slightly raining and he's like, oh, I'm just glad that I gave her that umbrella. It was a really sweet moment and I loved it. But I almost felt like he was also, this was the first time he was coming out of the instance that he was just in and the actual reality of killing people is setting in on him.
You could have a point that, like, I mean, I do wonder, would we see what it's like for him to go home after this? Like, right now, the sun is still out. It's shining on him through the clouds and through the rain, you know? There's still some sort of hope and light in what could be a dark and desperate place of having realized what you have been brought to and what you have been able to do with your own hands, that I feel like makes me wonder, well, what is it like for you once you don't see the sun?
Yeah.
Once you're alone in your room, there's not a person behind you that just went through a terrifying experience. The sun is not shining in your face through the rain and the clouds, and you are just alone in the dark in your room. It makes me think of in the opening when we get him in his room, sitting on the floor, seemingly suffering with his head in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, you know, lonely experience. That's what I was saying earlier. I hope that Jinho is able to stay close by. I don't know if the details will ever be shared or if they can be shared, but to the specific degree that you're the situation that you're in, it's got to be isolating.
Yeah, I feel like strength, possessing real strength, or like strength that's much bigger or stronger than anyone else, could be in itself incredibly isolating, but it's more complex for Jinwoo, and to have him have someone who he could at least feel a little less lonely around because they have become privy to it, maybe not the information, but at least to the sights of what you are capable of.
Yeah.
I feel like keeping someone like that close, what I had brought up earlier, obviously, it can also be a safety tactic for not having information leaks, and especially if he's like boss and intimidated by you. But for your own sanity, it can be nice too to have someone who knows what you're going through to some degree, however much you're willing to let them in.
Yeah. So we're given the skill of murderous intent, right?
Yeah.
And we defeat everybody here. I would love to bring it up, the actual ability.
Right.
Right before we get it, though, I want to see what is on his in-game menu.
Oh, it's the it goes so quick. It's the quest rewards.
Okay, so quest rewards, you got rewards, full recovery, ability points plus 10, skill, murderous intent. So I wanted to bring this up because we are being rewarded for killing people.
Yeah.
Not we get to live. We are also getting actual ability points and a skill, right? And a full recovery. If we kill another person, but it's not an objective. I imagine we don't get anything from it.
I would agree.
It has to specifically be set up as a quest to be able to benefit from it, whether it's a daily quest, an instance dungeon, or something like this.
The only reason for me that the quest could even be designed to exist is because the person on the opposite side of the situation, Dong-suk and his men, his strike team, had murderous intent. This quest was only able to be unlocked for you to be able to accept it because you needed to defend yourself and it wants to keep the player alive. So we need to force the player here to make sure they survive.
So you think murderous intent was given based off of the specific objective that we had? Interesting.
I think that it would. I feel like, I mean, I don't say that fully that I can trust the system and what it's going to ask us to do in the future, but I feel like at least from this episode, I can't be like totally like, oh, it could ask us to do totally something crazy, because I'm like, well, they were going to kill the player. Totally. Like, they had murderous intent. So this objective, it would not have unlocked in this way if they weren't planning on killing him.
So you could look at it like the system itself, yes, we're being given an objective because it wants to stay alive, right? It's using Jinwoo in that sense. I wonder if we're going to get to a point where it's going to bridge or get a little closer to the morality of it, where how you're suggesting, oh yeah, we were going to die anyway, so it's an objective, versus no, we're trying to use you. The system is trying to use you, Jinwoo, to objectively get stronger. We're going to ask you to kill the group of people you're with right now. Not because they're trying to kill you, but if you do, and you might have to overcome death to do it, but odds are you probably can, and therefore you're going to get stronger for the system, do it. You know? Rip that Band-Aid off. I don't know.
I guess we'll see in terms of like how to interpret it fully once we get more examples of random objectives popping up, random missions that aren't like, oh, here's this boss in this dungeon, take it down, but ones that have to do with the people within the dungeon.
Yeah, when it's not an instance dungeon or a daily reward, it's really, really fascinating to see how that's going to actually show its face.
And it totally could. There's a line in this episode from Chairman Go that it's important to work on one's body and mind instead of relying solely on their hunter powers, because in extreme situations like you face in the dungeons, human nature, like true humanity, true human nature can rear its ugly head. So there's, with that line, with what we get here, and the fact that this strike team is not the only team that I could assume is doing what they're doing. You know, this shady business of kind of killing people in order to keep more of the rewards for themselves, steal their armor, steal their loot. You don't know, and we don't know what other people that are going in here with their own selfish possible reasons, intentions, and thoughts. We don't know what other interactions could happen, what other people we might come across.
Yeah.
The fact of betrayal is brought up in the episode, and the episode prior. We don't know what other instances we could come across with real just people and not monsters that could have objectives pop up on the screen.
Yeah, and
they maybe don't have anything to do with killing.
Yeah, the skill that we did get though, Murderous Intent level 1, MP 100, which is nice to see because we've been using typically physical moves, but also we're being given a new skill which is Dash earlier in the episode, which is sick.
Dash.
But Panic, debuff, all abilities minus 50%. A powerful aura that puts the enemy in a state of panic for 1 minute. Multiple targets can be specified. It's sweet. It's like Intimidate in Pokemon. It's awesome.
Does Murderous Intent... we get the idea of enemy types. Like, we have animal type monsters. Obviously, these were humans. And oftentimes, things work better on, like this water type move would work better on this, or oh, the exoskeleton of the spider, you can't actually just like hit it with a knife and it work.
Yeah.
So with murderous intent, does it stick better on things that have a little more like conscious sentient ability?
I
like
wouldn't think
human?
so. I think that it would be able to cover a very wide basis of creatures or people, because I think that like animalistically you can feel murderous intent as
the
well.
Panic.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to bring up the idea of false rankers. Rare individuals that can control their magic power to register with a lower ranking, the hunters known as false rankers. That concept existing in this world doesn't entirely surprise me, but I don't know if we're ever going to actually see it in action. Most of them are said to be lunatics who kill for the fun of it, though. When that's brought up by Jinho, then I'm like, oh, we might actually see it be brought up. Like,
Because why else would you falsely rank?
Well, my mind doesn't even go to the low ranks of D or C and people who are actually A rank being in there. What if there's like in A rank, there are secret S ranks that are down there, and they are like slaughtering A ranks and getting that much better loot, you know?
Okay, so
but I mean, killing for the fun of it just sounds like
there could just be killing monsters for the fun of it. But I think the real like question here is, why would you falsely rank? Like, what really are you getting out of it? Like, if you were properly ranked, you could still kill monsters. So what really is the fun deceiving people? Is the fun surprising people by how much better you actually are?
My idea of it, if it's like people who smurf in video games, right? Like, people who are constantly smurfing in games love playing the game as long as they're dominating the lobby. They love playing the game as long as they're having fun because they're better than everybody else there.
Oh, so you just want to feel better than everyone else.
Or you just want to be able to like kill things and really easily, like, and not to no risk
easily.
of yourself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Well,
That's
I mean, you could
just
just do it without falsely ranking. Couldn't it? I mean, like, Johi was a B rank healer and she went into lower rank raids and dungeons. I guess it's like less people would look down on you if they knew that you were like a B rank and you were going into slaughter D rank, because then all the D ranks would be like, hey, you're taking the ones we can actually do, ones we can actually get rewards from.
I'm gonna presume this, so apologies, but I would imagine that the higher the rank, the less people are within that rank. We get the idea that there's only 7 S ranks in this country this episode, which is fascinating. But if you are actually an A rank and you would like to just like stick to lower dungeons and E's, and you don't fake it, then if there's a time and necessity that we need to allocate A and up ranks here and D ranks and C ranks go here, you might not want to have to deal with that the politics of it either.
You get rid of the pressure too. Like, if you are an S rank or an A rank, you're expected to put your life on the line in these extreme situations. And if you don't want you want to do this for the fun of it and not to save humanity, you know what I mean? Or have the recognition in that way to also then have the burden. If you have the recognition, you also then have the burden.
Yeah.
And like you said, even some politics involved. Okay, I think I'm understanding a little more of like what someone's reasoning could be to falsely ranking.
We don't know though. We'll see it if it happens.
I'm just also surprised to be hearing it now. I feel like it makes me wonder, does Jinwoo know about this concept? Is he even thinking that he could be seen in that way? Because we haven't heard it from him. We don't hear it from him. We hear it from Jinho.
Yeah. Who do you think we saw at the end of the episode? Do you think it was Dongso?
I think it was Dongso. I think it was Dongseok's brother.
Yeah. I mean, why bring up the name if we're never going to get it again, especially when the character's dead?
Especially in the way that it's like, my brother is the idea that he's the older brother, and this is the younger brother, assumingly on the screen, Dongso. But the younger brother is better. It maybe has more money, has a better ranking. Why else would you bring it up in this way? That it's like, oh, hush, why'd you bring up his brother right now? And then we kill Dongseok?
Do you think
like it has to be.
that Dongso is going to go out of his way and be like, the circumstances around this did seem a little weird. I'm going to make sure that nothing phony was going on, and really like isolates Jinwoo and Jinho? Or do you think it's just going to be trusted by the interview of after they get out of here?
I guess the issue would arise if he meets Jinho. I feel like Jinho, now he's locked into this, I feel like he's in dangerous territory. Because if he's the survivor that is thought to be the one that actually took down the boss and everyone else died within the dungeon, he's also the one, he's green to this, he's new to this. I feel like if you're Dongso and you hear that your brother died and there's one main survivor that was probably the one that actually even had a fighting chance, you go to him. Either you meet him up with him in a dungeon
out of suspicion, like
no, more just to ask what happened. Like, if you're a family member, wouldn't you possibly want actual more details other than a report?
Yes, but for why? Because when, like, the idea of, yeah, you mean to tell me that all the C rank hunters died in action, but you guys are okay? That seems a little suspicious. If what's his name? Dongso reads that report, if he's able to, he might be like defensive of his older brother and be suspicious of the happening.
And then I would then call into question his character. Would he not know what his brother's been up to?
That's fair.
You know, does he do shady stuff? Is this character Dongso, yes, his rank might be better and he might pull better money than his older brother, but is he going to be equally as shady of a character? Possibly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm worried about Jinho. I'm worried about him because he is now wrapped up in something that could also be a shady character wanting to avenge his brother because he's suspicious about his brother's death.
Yep. My last thing is that we got a check-in with Miss Cha, which is great. I hope that we can, hang out at some point during the series.
The perspective we got it from was a little fun because we saw 3 girls meeting for coffee, and 2 of them were from different guilds, which is super fun that they were not super competitive and that they were friends, even though one was like White Tiger Guild, the other was like the Hunters Guild. And we hear about how things are going for Miss Cha from the perspective of someone who is basically learning under her, which is nice, and I hope that we get more.
Yep. All right. I'm good. You have anything else?
I'm good.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.